Hi, my name's Alex DeMarchi, and I'm here to talk to you about something that I know a little something about. Love. Now, before I go on my whole spiel on what love is and the components of it and, that old chestnut, you might be wondering to yourself, God, what does Alex frickin' DeMarchi know about love? Well, let me tell you, Miss or Mr. Know-It-All. If you've seen it, if you've smelt it, felt it, licked it, thought about it, imagined it, I've done it. Now, I'm not going to elaborate on what done it means. I mean, you can think about that. I'm not suggesting anything here. But I think that basically more than qualifies myself as like a sexual love beast or something. I don't know. Anyway, let's get to the meat of this project. So, what is love? You ask. Well, if I were to put it into words, it'd probably be like setting your heart on fire, attaching it to a rotating fan going at like frickin' Millennium Falcon speed, and putting it in a room full of like all the ice cream you could ever possibly want in your entire life. But I'm not going to go into the definition of love because that's too abstract. What I'm going to do is tell you what I believe are the four major components of what make up love, which are desirability, attraction, likability, and compatibility, or DALK for short. These four things are all necessary in some way for love to exist between two foxy individuals.
Let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you. Let me show you.
The first thing that someone usually notices about another person is how good they look. Although it is more important to some than others, physical appearance could be the one thing that prevents someone from falling in love with another person. Although it is generally not a determining factor. Like, a terrible amount of extreme ugliness could definitely have an effect. Like, say if Fred Flintstone and like Barney the purple frickin' dinosaur decided to get together one day and have a love child, that baby would probably grow up having a harder time finding a girlfriend than, say, Antonio Banderas. People want someone who they like to look at. However, studies have actually shown that people actually prefer being with someone equal to or close to how attractive they perceive themselves to be. That's why you see so many couples out there with complementing features. People want to be with someone who reminds them of themselves. So like, if you're Brad Pitt and you somehow fall in love with this love child of Barney and Fred Flintstone, you have to prepare yourself for disappointment, because they're probably gonna be like totally crazy about the frickin' crack baby of George Bush and frickin' Mother Goose. Probably the most important thing needed in order to maintain love is likability. You could think that person you admire is the reincarnation of Marilyn Monroe, but once you discover that she's a crazy psycho bitch, bent on tearing your dick off while you're sleeping, chances are you're gonna get out of that relationship like Speedy Gonzales on cocaine. What makes love flourish is when you can uncover the true beauty in another person. When you begin to appreciate the makeup of someone, their kindness or quirkiness, or whatever combination of traits it may be, that's when you decide to submit your heart to their care. Love is established when two individuals decide they want to make one another an integral part of their life, which is why a person who possesses a lot of qualities that make it extremely difficult to get along with has a harder time maintaining a relationship, more so than a person who does not possess those qualities. People naturally want what they cannot obtain, which is why it is important to create a degree of self-value so that you can make yourself appear to be more alluring. This is why people find neediness to be an unattractive trait within relationships. You make yourself seem inferior to the other person, which demotes your desire to them. One time, I knew this chick named Swingin' Susie, and she was like, totally the hottest chick that ever walked the face of this planet. She got into this relationship with this dude called Juicy Johnson, and within a month he broke up with her. So I asked him, "What the fuck, Johnson? Are you like on PCP or something? Frickin' Susie's where it's at." And he responded to me, and he said, "Yeah, I know, man, but I was constantly kicking that chica off my ankles. Frickin' she was suffocating me." This true account is a perfect example of what can happen when desire is not maintained. Though it is important that you let your relationship know that you like them, keep them on their toes. Make some aside comment about that French student in your class and how luscious his lips are, or something like that. Compatibility goes hand in hand with likability, but concerns itself more with the way a person's likes and dislikes stack up with one another. Although you might regard someone as likable and attractive, if you oppose some of the things they enjoy doing or believe in, and find their lifestyle greatly differs with yours, trying to keep in love with that person might be strenuous, whereas a person who appreciates the same things you do, and shares similar principles as you, would be like fertile soil to the flower patch of your love. Let's look at peanut butter and jelly. The two grow great together, but when you put peanut butter with mayonnaise, they don't work out so good. I mean, like, I'm sure peanut butter thinks mayonnaise is like a cool dude and all, but as soon as frickin' mayonnaise kicks his frickin' foot through the door, peanut butter's like, "Whoa, man, hey, take your shoes off, we do a Japanese in here," and they just don't work out. It should be like a sitcom. Mayonnaise and peanut butter. But yeah, so like with love, you must find the peanut butter to your jelly.
Well,